Have you ever noticed what happens when a song you love comes on? Your energy changes, you move differently. Maybe you start tapping your fingers on the steering wheel. Maybe you turn the volume up. Maybe you end up on the dance floor at a wedding when you had absolutely no intention of dancing. Music does something to us, and after years of watching people move, exercise and respond to music, I've come to realise it might be one of the most underestimated parts of the exercise experience. Now, some workouts feel almost impossible to get through, while others somehow feel energizing, emotional, or even fun. And strangely enough, one of the biggest differences might not be the workout itself, it might be the music. Now, somewhere along the way, moving to music started getting labelled as old school. Now, people hear music in fitness and immediately think 80s aerobics. And in all honesty, I did fall in love with moving to music in the 80s, leg warmers and all. But after years of teaching workouts and watching people move, I've come to appreciate this differently. Music changes how movement feels. So maybe moving to music was never a problem. Maybe it was actually helping people enjoy exercise more than we realised. Maybe we underestimated how human it actually is. Research continues to show that music can improve mood, reduce perceived exertion, increase enjoyment, and even improve exercise adherence. In other words, music can actually help exercise feel better and help people stay with it longer. That's powerful because most people don't struggle with knowing they should exercise. More often, they struggle with wanting to come back tomorrow. And music has this incredible ability to change the shape and feel of an experience. Sometimes it gives you energy right when you're starting to fade. Sometimes it distracts from discomfort just enough that movement feels more manageable. Sometimes a song changes your mindset completely from I have to do this to I can definitely do this. And sometimes it's just joy, pure joy, the kind that makes movement stop feeling like a task and start feeling like an experience. And that's part of the reason I still teach workouts after all these years. It's still one of my happy places. The energy, the music, the moment people stop overthinking and just move. It reminds me a little bit of why my husband and I love live concerts so much too. Some of our favourite memories over the years have been connected to music. There's just something powerful about people collectively feeling something together. Interestingly, that feeling can still carry through a screen as well. The music still creates energy. The rhythm still shapes movement. And even at home, people can still feel connected to something bigger than just exercise alone. And that's one of the reasons we built MOSSA on Demand the way we did. We didn't want home workouts to feel cold, repetitive, or disconnected. We wanted them to feel energizing, connected, human, with motivating music, expert coaching, and workouts designed to make movement feel good. So if you've struggled to stay consistent with exercise, sometimes the answer isn't more discipline. Sometimes it's finding a style of movement with the right motivating music you actually want to come back to. You can start a free trial at mossaondemand.net and we'll put a link in the description. There are even common movement tempos connected to things like walking, running, and finger tapping, which makes sense because we don't really have to teach people rhythm. It's already inherently there. Although, I might add, some people in rhythm are still very much in negotiations, but you get the point. And I think that's part of why people often finish these workouts feeling different than when they started. At MOSSA, music isn't just background noise. It's part of how we design the experience. In many ways, we curate playlists the same way an artist curates a concert set list. There are moments that build energy, moments that pull people in emotionally, moments to recover and breathe. Because we don't want movement to feel like a flat line. We want people to feel something, and every MOSSA program uses music a little differently. But they all point in the same direction, helping movement feel more human. And I think part of that connection comes from something very powerful, memory. One thing I really love about MOSSA is that we don't just rely on current music trends. We intentionally build playlists that span decades. Because someone's 80s is someone else's 2010s, which still feels a little bit weird to say out loud, but it's very true. Research even suggests that the music we connect with during certain periods of our lives becomes strongly tied to memory, emotion, and identity, which explains why one song can instantly transport you somewhere, a college dance floor, a first car, a road trip, a season of life. And when people hear something familiar in a workout, something connected to a positive memory or feeling, it changes the experience in a way that's hard to measure, but very real. For a lot of people, one of the most powerful ways to experience that is in a live group workout. Moving with other people, sharing energy, feeling the music together, it changes the experience. That's why MOSSA workouts are taught in partner health clubs and YMCAs all over the world, because exercise often feels more motivating, more encouraging, and honestly, more fun when people experience it together. So if you've never tried a live MOSSA workout before, this might be your sign. You may discover that exercise feels completely different in that environment. Check out the link below to find a club or YMCA near you. Because at the end of the day, our goal isn't simply to help people exercise, it's to help people fall in love. Well, maybe in like with exercise. And music helps us to do that. And honestly, if traditional exercise environments have never really felt like your thing, music might be part of what changes that. The thing that helps exercise feel less intimidating, more enjoyable, more emotional, more human. Because most people don't struggle with knowing exercise is good for them, they struggle with finding a version that they actually want to come back to. And music might help bridge that gap. Maybe enjoyment isn't a distraction from exercise. Maybe it's the reason people stay with it long enough for it to change their lives. So let me leave you with this. Is there a song, artist, or even a decade of music that instantly makes you want to move? The kind of music that changes your energy or makes exercise feel different somehow. I genuinely love to hear it in the comments below. And if conversations like this are helpful, grounded in movement, science, and real life, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're glad you're here.